Hello and welcome to the show. Today we are, well, taking a trip back in time to the days of Toca 2 touring cars, the end of the kind of super touring era of vehicles in the BTCC, which is, yeah, a really rather good category of cars. This is kind of where I just about started I just about start remembering watching touring cars. This sort of era. I haven't played this game in a very, very long time. I don't even remember if I owned a copy of it or not. If it was one of those games that I played around a friend's house or something. Oh crap! Glitchy loading screens. But yeah, either way, do remember this game being absolutely fantastic and quite excited to kind of get back into it. A couple of things I should point out. As you saw there when it went into, I guess, a demo mode or whatever, loading screens are incredibly glitchy. There is something about getting this game to load causes problems with modern computers. Now, there is a patch that will at least make it run. I will hopefully link that in the description if you want to have a go with this. There is a patch that will, hopefully get the game to run. If you don't have it, it takes like an hour apparently to get through the loading screen, so that's quite fun. I have already also got the disc of this. You might be able to find versions that don't need a disc to run on the internet somewhere, but yeah, I have for ease of getting this all to work. Otherwise, it wasn't terrible actually getting it running on a modern PC, which surprises me. I thought there was going to be more problems. Either way, we are going to jump into a championship. We're going to go to the championship mode. Start a new one. Now, I have played a brief bit, to make sure the game works and kind of familiarise myself with it all. Novice is very, very easy. Very, very alarmingly easy. Seeing as I have some difficulty controlling the cars, which we'll get to in a minute, I think I'm going to stick it on standard for now. I might still be able to dominate, we'll see. I know I might have to come back and change it a little bit, but there we go. Are you ready for the brilliant selection of cars? If actually, we should probably get back to the sort of start of the list. The brilliant selection of cars. We've got the Honda Accord. We've got the Audi A4, the Vauxhall Vectra. I mean, I say brilliant selection of cars. I mean, the Vectra wasn't exactly an amazing car in normal guise, but as a touring car, very, very good indeed. The Volvo S40. Unfortunately, neither of the Toca touring car games. I've got the first Toca game as well. In fact, I'll have a look at the case now. I don't think. No, this doesn't have. Okay, the older Toca touring car game, even that doesn't have the old 850Rs. Sadly, this a little bit later in the Super Touring era. But yeah, we've got the Volvo S40. We've got the Ford Mondeo, the ST200s. We've got the Nissan Primera, the very, very fast Nissan, the Peugeot 406, and we finish off with the Renault Laguna. Yeah, there we go. For those of you of a certain age, this will be an excellent trip down memory lane with all of these. What car do we want to go and drive? It's a tough choice. I'm kind of leaning just generally towards Volvo. I think Volvo is going to be the way to go. We will drive Rydell's Volvo. I don't know if we can change. Oh, we can drive a camo car. Oh, we can drive a very offensive blue car. That's a very offensive blue. I don't know why there's a camo car. Do they run the camo livery? So maybe like a special edition livery? It's different. Oh, there's slightly different size wheels apparently between those. Either way, yeah, let's go and drive the classic Volvo. Again, loading screen's going to freak out. So, here we are. The first race, we're going to Thruxton. Rounds 1 and 2 are at Thruxton. The track list on this, as good as you would expect. It does pretty much have the entirety of the BTCC calendar. We've got Thruxton, we've got Knock Hill, we've got Snetterton, we've got Donington, Silverstone, etc. There are also some bonus tracks which I haven't unlocked. I don't know quite what they are. Along with the actual touring cars, there are also a bunch of support classes as well in here that you can drive. I think there's like a little Fiesta. I think there's a Jaguar XJ220, I think, is in here. Various other sort of support vehicles for one-make races. We're going to go into qualifying. There is also full weather, as far as I know. I haven't actually seen the rain yet come up on here, but it says the option for weather and so on. There is also an amount of setup work that you can do on the car. You can change gear ratios, you can change suspension, I think that's just springs around. I can actually change springs all 4 corners. Quite impressive. Brake bias, downforce, and so on. Okay, not the most comprehensive tuning thing, but remember, this game is nearly 20 years old now. Certainly getting towards 20 years old. I think it was 1999 or 2000 this game came out in. So, yeah, this is a pretty old game. And it actually has aged really well. I think, anyway, this has aged remarkably well in all of this. Yeah, you can see that it is a older game. And while I am playing this, I have got a 360 controller to work okay with this. I can't drive with the triggers. The game doesn't recognise the left and right triggers as being like inputs for buttons, essentially. So I'm having to use... Oh, no, we're going to start from the back. Oh, there's a funny noise came from my car there. I'm having to use A as accelerate and X as brake. There's no big deal. We have immediately run into the problem that I did kind of want... Well, I was going to start talking about. Handling for these cars is... I'm not sure... actually easiest on a controller. You see, I've got the steering on the analog stick, as you would expect, but honestly, you've got to kind of treat it a little bit like a button. As you saw there, it's very easy to spin the car. These things that are all front-wheel drive, as far as I am aware, I believe anyway from this era, all the cars are front-wheel drive, and yet they are super easy to spin because you've sort of held the steering too long through some of the corners. I have no doubt I will get used to it. I have no doubt that it's me just not, being used to the game's handling, and I will figure out how to deal with it. But yeah, it's... there are probably going to be a few spins along the way. I've got to try really hard to not bin the car. Trying to go 5 laps is going to be difficult without putting it suddenly facing backwards. We were like the... We had a spin, so I had 20-something. Let's not pay too much attention. The Vauxhall's going to be on pole ahead of the 2 Nissans. The Honda in 4th. The Rydell's Volvo's up in 5th. At least someone's doing well with the Volvo. Plato and Menu. I don't actually remember Plato driving a Laguna. But there we go. Apparently that is the case. And then further... I didn't come last. Muller with his Audi did even worse. I don't actually remember Muller driving an Audi. I might have been a little bit too young at this stage to actually remember names. I remember cars, but yeah, I don't remember names. I remember Muller driving a Vectra for a while and winning everything. But there we go. Okay, so surprisingly, we aren't starting from last. Let's try and not. Let's try and not spin the car. The other thing you've got to be very careful with that I found out in the little bit of testing is you really don't want to be steering and braking all at the same time. That is a surefire way to... We've had a terrible... I don't know how we've had such a bad launch off the line, but we have had an awful launch off the line. Steering and braking is a surefire way to get the car very unhappy. And the brakes actually don't feel amazing on these either. You kind of have a lot more turn-in grip than you expect, and the brakes don't really slow the car down as you expect. It's a... oh, God, we're going to get pushed out wide a little bit. Get off the grass. It's a pretty old game. I will forgive it, not having the handling characteristics of modern ones. We are up into 9th place. We're going to go round the outside of the Peugeot at a very fast corner. I'm not sure you normally want to be doing this at Thruxton. That's a hold on for dear life sort of a moment and hope for the best. We are through. Another very impressive feature that I don't remember being on this game back when I played it. However, we have actually got a full cockpit view. We've actually got a full cockpit view here. And not just that, certainly one of the cars I was driving earlier has actually got animated downshifts. There we go. Okay, yeah, sure. You can see the individual pixels and, and whatnot. I'm thoroughly impressed. Not only, of course, we've got this cockpit, but as you can see, we're starting to have like little bits of dirt and muck throw up at the windscreen. All the cars have got full damage models, and a couple of collisions, you'll start having buckled door panels, you'll lose windows and whatnot. Oh, God. Trying to judge speeds, I'm struggling a little bit. In fact, we might see some little collisions here with the Honda if we're not careful. Oh, there's some glass. I don't know whose glass that was. Probably mine. It's gone flying. Flying off. Haha! We've apparently got some... Oh, God, we've apparently got some speed. That's quite bumpy across there. I don't know if we're clear. Unfortunately, there are no mirrors for looking back. And my digital dashboard seems to say we're in Gear C. I don't know what Gear C is. I'm not sure if that's good or not, but... it's a thing, apparently. Oh, God. Hello. I wasn't expecting you to be going on the brakes down here. Okay, maybe not trying to follow them. I mean, if we get to the leader, we can run away. That will probably be good, because there's the inevitability that I will probably... Thank you, race engineer person. There's the inevitability that I will bin it at some point. It's almost guaranteed. Oop. I don't know if we can get told off for corner cutting or jumping the curves there. At Thruxton, it's quite... there's quite a lot of curbs that you can launch. We'll go with launch the car across, and I have no idea whether the game is going to tell me off about all of that. Oh, don't spin through there, Volvo. Thank you. I mean, the curbs are quite large, shall we say, around here. As far as rolling cars go, because of course that is a important question in any sort of game. Doesn't look like they're going to roll off of a curb, that much is for sure. They kind of clonk across them as you would kind of expect a car to. We've kind of lost the horrendous din of everything behind us. How do I look back? What did I say? Click the stick to look back. There's some cars all the way back there. Yeah, I mean, they were not terrible lap times in qualifying that those lot did. I mean, I did spin. But they were not terrible lap times, I don't think, from all of those, so... I'm not sure why they've lost all of that pace suddenly come race. Oh, I've not really turned in very well there. I'm very scared about turning in hard into these corners. You saw what happened in qualifying. I am quite nervous. You see, okay, so that lap time, 14.6, would have put me on the front row of the grid, basically. But somehow the AIs have now forgotten all of their driving. Oh, hello. Okay. That was me being a little bit too brave. Go, 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 go. We've had... I knew we were going to have a spin problem. The gravel's horrible. Dig yourself out, Volvo. Please. There's a gear in there somewhere. Hey, one of the Renaults is up into fourth. Oh, there comes a Vectra. We'll give the Vauxhall space. I guess I've got some work to do. Well, we've got to make it interesting. I'd rather win, but, you know, it's better to have some on-track battles than... anything else. I have a feeling Thruxton's supposed to be a little bit more hilly. I think there's supposed to be a little bit more elevation change going on the circuit. And yeah, there's popping going on with the trees and whatnot. Again, I'm not surprised by that so much. But yeah, the detail on the cars is actually not too bad at all, really. Still not understanding quite the Nissans want to go on the brakes. Are they testing their brakes before the big stop up here? Can we go around the outside of a Nissan into the final corner? Oh, come on, come on, come on. We can get second. We can get second. Yes, I think we have. Yep, we have. Woohoo! It's a podium. It's a podium in my first race, and that involved a spin. There's also a full replay mode. I think you can even save replays and so on as you go through, which is really, really cool. So there we go. We got the Volvo. There are two good points finishes for the Volvo. Points go down to 10th in this. And 16 cars. Again, 16 cars on track is not terrible for this. Oh, we've got a little podium scene. Look at the people. Look at the very, very 2D people. Look at... That is the fastest clapping I think I have ever seen. Fantastic. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going into the feature race now. It's a 9-lap race. Basically, this means we're going to now have to try and not spin twice. Like, the 4 laps, we had 1 spin. Yeah, we're probably not going to... not going to last. Either way, let's see. Can we get, like, a 13? 13 would be good around here. I say 13 would be good. Judging by what we saw last time, I'd be flat out through turn 1. I've got to remember that. Got to remember that we can be flat out through turn 1. Also going to try and figure out how to get the car off the line so we don't lose... Oh, I've done exactly the same damn thing. What is it with that corner? I think it's just because it's one of the slower corners. And as I was saying before, like there's a lot of turn in with these cars. You kind of slow them down to the point where you think they're still going way too fast into a corner, and then you turn in and then they're actually fine. But if they are going way too fast for the corner, you turn in and there's enough front end grip, but the back end then just kind of does its own merry little dance and decides that it will go. Oh, okay. Not done that before. Hello, Marshall Point. There's a perfectly controlled Volvo here. Okay, I've definitely got to be, I say, a lot more careful. I've got to do a lot smaller. It's going to look, I think, less smooth the way I'm going to have to drive the car, but if it stops it from spinning, that's, I think, going to be the way to go. Like, trying to counter-steer cars on here just doesn't really seem to work so well. It seems to be a case of they're gone, and once they're gone, that's it. There's nothing that you can do about recovering them. Oh, yeah, like there, for example. It starts spinning. I go to counter steer, and it just continues back in the way that it's way to go. Well, you know what the laptop I was looking for. Not done it. I mean, we've got 9 laps to come good in the race. 13.8 for the Renaults, ahead of the Vauxhall, the Nissan, the Honda, the Nissan. Hey, Rydell's at least up in 8th place. Yeah, we are at the back that time. P. Cox also had a bad time. 27.6 is not great around here. He's probably had a spun as well. Had a spun as well, yes. That is the English that we are going. You must finish 8th or higher to continue with the championship. Okay. Do we have to do a time thing with the launch to get off the line? No, it's just not. That definitely didn't work. I don't know how everybody is faster than me off the line, goddammit. Right, if we've got to finish 8th, then no prattling around, basically. No prattling around. We've got to try and not break the car. Of all the circuits that the season could start on, at least Thruxton is relatively kind in that. Oh, there was a wiggle from the Accord. Don't mind me. I'm just going to bounce my way past. It was fine. No real damage was done. Yeah, of all the circuits that we could start on, at least at Thruxton, there's not massive amounts of braking zones for me to tangle up with the AIs, with there being a fair amount of these straights that I seem to have the fastest car on. I say I have the fastest car on, I think the other AIs are just a little bit weird with their behaviours down here. Either way, we're able to get past down the straights, which is nice and safe, rather than having to, I say nice and safe. What are you doing? There's no, oh God, Audis, please don't take each other out. I mean, difficult enough dealing with you myself, let alone when they're trying to go side by side through a very, very quick corner. We're up into 10th. I mean, it's a solid start. It is a solid start, and they kind of slow the car down quite early into here, rather than having one big stop later on into the braking zone. I also feel like this should be. Oh, hello, Rydell. We're going to give you a hand here. I feel like perhaps that chicane might need to be a little bit tighter. It's still quite a. Oh, there's a pit window. Was there? I don't remember there being pit windows in touring car. That's a thing that I don't remember at all. Okay, I guess that's something we're going to have to deal with then. Do we stay out, or do we come in early, get the pit stop out of the way? Possibly. I don't even know if I have to do anything to come the pit stops. Do I have to kind of try to press buttons and align my car, or will the game do it all for me? Don't know. We're going to find out fairly shortly, as we're going to bounce our way across the curve. That's another couple of positions as we go past the Hondas. I think maybe maybe I need it on the expert difficulty, because in qualifier they seem to set a similar pace to me, but when we come into the race, their weird behaviours down these straights kind of gives me a huge advantage being the only one running 138 miles an hour down here. That's got to help. I don't know if slipstream is a thing in this. I kind of imagine probably not, but there we go. I don't even know how to get into the pit lane here. So I'm going to be very, very careful to try and figure out. I think it is to the inside here. Yes, so if we dive into the pits now, might as well change. Oh, God. Sure, go change the front tyres. That's really cool. I mean, again, it kind of worried me because we were... I'm not sure what I was doing, kind of having to do it all quickly, but yeah, you can actually choose to, you know, we've only been racing a lap. There's no point, there's no real point changing tyres, quite frankly, but I guess you have to do something in the pit stop for it to count or whatever. Oh no, that's way too fast. Again into there. I am an idiot. I am a colossal fool. We are still ahead of the Peugeots. We are still... Press the wrong button. We are still ahead of the Peugeot. We're still ahead of the Mondeo. I think that's a Honda that's got past us. It is Cleland. No, that's a Vauxhall. I think that they're both red and white, and when they're kind of that sort of distance on this age of game, there's not much difference between the Vectra and the Accord. Well, at least we're going to have something to do for the remote. Again, you know, I'm making it a challenge for myself by my inability to take turn... What would it be? 3, I guess? Yeah, turn 3's mean, I've decided. I mean, it's quite mean in real life, but that tends to be one of the places where you get crashes at Thruxton. From my from my experience of watching touring cars. Oh, okay, there, I got curbed and gravelled, and that will spin you around as well. Okay, I'm learning things about the game. Unfortunately, in learning things about the game, we are now losing positions. We need that 8th place. We definitely need that 8th place, and we need to do better than we are currently. Run away from the 406. Okay, I think I've given myself enough of a challenge now. If we could just not do any more dumb things through. There we go. I've not spun. We've not spun. Okay, fourth is definitely needed there. The sound doesn't quite buzz the limiter in the way that I would expect it to. So occasionally I kind of don't notice that it's got to the limiter. Also, we spend so long on this track flat out at the limiter in 6th. Maybe I should have extended the gears a little bit, but then that would have made my car even more ridiculously fast compared. I mean, yeah, we could have extended the gears, would probably help. But against the AIs, it would just make us super fast, and then we would bugger off even further into the distance until we spun, and then maybe that would have been a wise thing to do. But, you know, we learn. Bye-bye, Fords. Bye-bye, Fords. Apparently, the Mondeo's not having a great... the greatest of times back at the back of the pack. Now, can we not attack the curb too much? I mean, it's one way to deter corner cutting. If you go across the curb too much, you spin. That is definitely one way to deter anybody from cutting the corners. A 15-0 that time around. I mean, I like the little radio messages. They're doing their thing. Told me Rydell had already come into the pits. We'll get past him fairly straightforwardly. Yeah, we've kind of got big old straightforward overtakes going on here. Come on, we can get... Oh, okay, maybe not get the Vectra there. Not sure I trust you, AI. I'm not sure I trust most modern games AIs to give me space a lot of times. Do I trust... do I trust this AI? I wonder what that is up in the distance. No, I think he's going to actually give up on the outside there. I will take that. Thank you very much. Is that it looks like there's a splodge of gold. We're playing the long-distance car guessing game. Could be a Laguna. Would make sense if it's one of like Plato's or menus that's come into the pits already. Harvey, that would be a Peugeot then. Up ahead. Again, right colours. I don't think that will have come into the pits yet, but we will wait and see. If it has, it's continuing on for another lap. Oh... 13-2 that time around. We are flying in the Volvo. We do kind of need to, though, as that will be us past the Peugeot. What have we got up ahead to go chase down? Looks like an gear. Poor car. Yeah, we've got an Audi. We've got the Audi of Muller to go chasing. I mean, I feel sorry for this car spends, what, 80% of this lap at the rev limiter, basically, and I don't help it, but I would be coming to the corners forgetting where I need to gear. So, there we go. I would imagine all of these cars must have come for their pit stops. I mean, yeah, I'm quicker than the... Oh, God, that got twitchy. I am quicker than the AI, for sure, but having had big spins, I don't think I could have made up that much time in that smaller a space. So I think we are passing cars that have been, and I'm not sure if Cox will have done or not. Maybe he's just having a better race than he had qualifying. Who knows? We will have to... Yep, okay. Thought he might. Looks like one of the Renaults is on its way out. Oh, have we leapfrogged Plato in the pit stops? We have! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! We have beaten a Renault. That gives us a Nissan ahead that will, I fully expected, have pitted. An Audi. The Audis are doing better around here than we saw in the first race. Or can we sweep around the outside of two cars? Is there going to be... Oh, no, I'm going to lift on that one. Like, I thought I had got the I'd got the run, but I didn't know if I was going to have the space, and I was too terrified of spinning the car if we had a wheel on the grass out there, and just lift off and get it back into line. Focus on keeping control of the car, more important than anything else. There we go. We're up to 5th. Thank you, race engineer. I don't know what your name is, but we shall call you Jeff. Regardless, we're battling with the Primera. There's another Nissan that we haven't seen yet, and there's a couple of cars that won't have pitted. Big stops into this final chicane again, but give it plenty of respectful space on that curve. The other Laguna's in, the other Nissan's in, and that would be the Honda. Hey! 2 laps to go. We are leading the way. Now let's not do anything dumb. Don't celebrate too soon. My current level of skill on this game is likely to lead to another... I say likely to lead to another spin. I think we've probably hit our spin quota. So let's not go for any more. I think we have... fully completed our spin quota for one video. No rolls, unfortunately, but I think that would have to involve a very, very big crash to see that. I would be very surprised if the game had had rolling car physics. I haven't really seen too much damage either, which is I say it's a little bit of a shame. The damage model on here is, again, not shabby whatsoever. When you are in first-person view, if you smash your windscreen up, yeah, you see that from first person. You will see the smashed windscreen. You'll see the bits falling out, or the chunk falling out of the centre. Which is, again, something that even modern games have issues doing sometimes. Like, I was playing Midnight Club LA on stream a little while ago, and even that, when you smash the windows on that car from third-person view, if you went to first-person, it wasn't smashed then. So, yeah, even modern games have issues with some of these bits and pieces, and this game is fine with it. No! Oh, bloody car. I thought I was sorted for that one. Why am I in first person? To get out of first person. There we go. Okay, I guess that's just to complete the trifecta of spins. Is it 3 spins I've done this race? I'm not sure. Well, I mean, we've thankfully were fast enough to get away with all of that. Definitely need a little bit more practice. I might have to try it on a keyboard and see if it's better. As I say, if it's better, if it's more designed for that, with the kind of tapping keys, maybe that is the way to go. I keep thinking I can get away with more speed through corners by turning in and hoping, but yeah, they just let go so easily, the back of the cars. Ah well. One more little section of track to go. Let's not cock this up because I don't have any time to recover from it whatsoever. It is very slow through that final chicane, but it's better safe than sorry because we win with the Volvo, a first and second at Thruxton. Pretty good results, I would say. Yeah, not a bad day for Volvo either. Better day for Renault and Nissan, but not a bad day. Not a bad day for Volvo. Peugeot and Ford struggling a little bit around here. There we go. First place, and that will have us joint first in the championship. Do they have a teams championship table? Oh, they do have a constructors. Excellent. We are second overall. We are ahead of Renault. Oh, poor Ford. Poor Ford have no points. Nothing for them. Sure, let's save the championship. Why not? There we go. that was... Oh, hello, game. That was a look at Toca 2 touring cars. Apparently, it gets very wet when it comes to Silverstone. I hope you've enjoyed this trip down down memory lane with some of the best era of touring car racing. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.